Let's just take that in for a moment. And as one of my friends would say, just breathe, breathe. Wow. Well, welcome to another Mother's Day service. Today it's provided by some very special Unity women that happen to be on our staff. I hope each of you will take a moment and have a gentle thought about someone who has loved you as a mother. And allow that thought to bring to you that inner peace and love that is ours as we acknowledge our oneness with all today. For some of us, Mother's Day is a joy-filled day with tender memories of our time that has been spent with our mothers. And for others of us, Mother's Day may not bring up feelings of joy and happiness. And yet some may be harboring feelings of not being a good enough mother or not being the best parent in the world. But right now, for the next few moments, I invite you to let go and suspend those feelings that do not serve you. And embrace the truth of who you are. Embrace the truth that we are all one with the oneness, which is absolute, pure love. Today we celebrate all women who are mothers, as well as all those who have been given and continue to give mother love, both males and females. Our lesson today is given by Becky Nordeen, our Youth and Family Ministry Coordinator, and Karen Onny, one of our licensed Unity teachers. And today we also thank Eden Bodner for that beautiful meditation. Thank you, Eden. I just want to say another few things about Mother's Day. I remember the first time that I realized that I possess both feminine and masculine within me. That's what we teach here at Unity, that we have that energy, both feminine and masculine within me. And I was fairly new to Unity at that time. And I thought, maybe that's why I'm gay. I've got too much mother energy in me. Not realizing, that can't be the case, because I know some gay men and gay women that's got a tremendous amount of masculine energy within them. We are who we are. We're what we are, regardless of our gender, regardless of how we identify. We have that masculine and that feminine energy within us. And I believe with all my heart that when I have that abundance of feminine energy within me, that it makes me a better minister. It makes me a better minister because I can relate to the masculine and to the feminine. And I believe in being greater service to others. So for that, I am truly grateful. Someone recently in this church, names shall not be used, said to someone, and they told me, they said to someone, I didn't know Reverend Pat was gay. And this person says, have you ever seen him walk across the platform? So today, we have two women that have the most masculine and the feminine within them. It's an honor and a pleasure to work with these two individuals. They have brought such joy to our staff. They bring knowledge, they bring maturity, and they bring a willingness to be in service to you. So we're going to start with Becky Nordeen, our Youth and Family Ministry Coordinator. We love having you here, Becky.
Good morning, Becky Nordeen. It really is a joy to be here with you today. I'm usually upstairs with the kids, so it's quite an honor to be down here with you. We always have so much fun upstairs, but it's a real pleasure to be down here celebrating all the mothers here today. as Reverend Pat said, Mother's Day can be a holiday that stirs up a lot of emotion for many of us. So some of us, may or may not be a mother, and that comes with a whole host of emotions. However, we all come from a mother, and that too comes with another whole host of emotions. So wherever you are, whatever's coming up for you today, whatever you're reflecting on, just know that we're with you. You're not alone. I really am honored to serve in the role that I have here at Unity as the Youth and Family Ministry Coordinator. I believe it really fits in with my life's purpose of guiding children, nurturing children. It's the way that I feel the divine manifests in me. And, this concept of the divine mother, it lives in each of us. It's that constant loving presence. It's the highest form of care and nurturance. And as Reverend Pat said, we have that within each of us. And it manifests in a multitude of ways. And for some, that role that it manifests as is motherhood. And we serve out that energy of the Divine Mother through our role as mother. So today, we are honoring that manifestation of the Divine Mother. The energy of creation and the universe, the demonstration of the forces guiding life into being. I see motherhood as that representation of the nurturing spirit of God, the presence that always is with us, whether we acknowledge it or not, sometimes like our own mothers. Creating life, tending to it, nurturing its development. Motherhood is a sacred responsibility. I've felt called to motherhood personally. I know deep within it's a role that is part of my life's journey. It is said that a desire in the universe is the universe calling forth what is eventually to be. That desire cannot be there without the universe calling it forth. And I have felt the call of motherhood. I know the universe supports me as I grow and guide and struggle and surrender over and over. Becoming a mother is not all gentle and love and serenity and, day in, day out, loving nurturance. And some of us have experienced that deep ache, first within our physical bodies coming into motherhood, and then later if motherhood doesn't exactly pan out as we had dreamed it to be. We can idealize this experience of raising humans and feel hopeless when our efforts don't pan out. The chaos of the early years, or navigating young adulthood, or maybe the loss of a child, which I know deeply, and that experience can really make motherhood a difficult path to walk. We're meant to parent our children into their next stages of development, always looking ahead, down the road, navigating the pitfalls through our own experience and insight and foresight. This is why it's essential for us to do our own work. I don't know about you, but like I said, motherhood is not always roses. So it's really important that I trust the loving presence of God, that divine mother working through me, working through us. When I connect with Source, I'm able to rightly see, rightly respond to life, to my children and their needs. The sacred responsibility of motherhood is showing the path daily, demonstrating it, guiding our children into alignment with that power that is in themselves. I've heard it said that motherhood is the experience of having your heart walking around outside of your body. And it's the longest goodbye we will ever experience. We'll never be closer than that moment we brought them into this world. We have this precious time, carrying them for such a short amount of time, giving fully of ourselves. Excuse me. And then they leave us. Going off into the world slowly at first, but then quickly as the years go by. And it can feel like heartbreak when they no longer need us. However, that was always how it was meant to be. I believe we are tasked with ushering these new lives into this world, into this existence, and being a guiding light on their path until they find their own way. They come to us, and we learn from them just as much or maybe more than they learn from us. All mothers, all of us, we serve as a surrogate, being the light in our children's lives until they can remember that they have their own guiding light within them. God has no grandchildren, and being a mother requires a full faith that God is doing for my children just as much as he's doing for me. You've probably heard it said before that we're all just walking each other home. This is the true joy of motherhood, that we're walking our children home, back to themselves, back to that God that lives within them, that spirit, that light that guides them. So today, we honor all forms of motherhood, the divine nurturing presence. I see you. I know you are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for sharing your light in this world.
Hi. Oh, wow. My husband always says if you cry at a service, it's a good service. And I've been crying. My husband gave me the red carnation, and that's supposed to symbolize that your mother is still alive. And the white one, it means that your mother is passed. Sorry. I was fine before this, really. I was like, I feel pretty good. But yeah, my mother right now is, she's in hospice care, and it's just, she's in New Jersey, so it's like she's far away. And I'm just hearing all this, that song, Bridge Over Troubled Water, was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Rachel. I was like, what does that have to do with Mother's Day? And then, boom. Okay, so I am the yin to the yang to Becky. I am not a mother. My husband and I have a little thing called you're missing the chip. And for us, that means we have like this consciousness or brain, and they're like computer chips in there. And I'll give you an example. And one of them is that I have no idea about directions. East, west, south, no. Nothing. I just don't get it. Sometimes if you put me on the map and tell me that's left and right, okay, But I just am missing the chip. And I'm okay with that. I don't get it. Just tell me right, left, so forth. And I'm so grateful for GPS. It just opened up my life. Really, I just love that you can press a button and I can go to California. That is just amazing. So the other chip I feel like I'm missing is having kids. When I grew up, I remember thinking, I played house, I played with dolls, and I have there's 5 of us. And there's a big gap between me and my next sister, and then there's my younger sister. So I hung out with her a lot. And, growing up, a lot of people start having these visions of weddings and the color of your dress and this and that, and the venue, and then how many kids you're having and how many. I didn't have any of that. And it's not like I didn't think I was going to get married or not. I just didn't have the big vision of it. Or the kids. I never thought about having kids. It just wasn't there. As I get older, I did get married at 30, and I think I mentioned that marriage. I kind of got married because I thought I should. Like I was getting older. I dated this guy for 5 years. It was like, ding, time to get married. And then, when the subject of kids came up, we kind of looked at each other like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, what do you think? And it didn't feel like that was healthy to just have that kind of blah feeling about having kids. I felt like I started to wake up out of this trance. I was going to therapy I was doing yoga. I started going on this journey within. And something happened. It got ignited. And I think I really loved just being present moment, doing my life. That marriage ended, and the next 5 years, I just went on this journey of going inward. Yoga, Tai Chi, therapy, I just loved it. It wasn't even a thought, to be a mother or to have kids. And I really feel like that was okay, that was, when Becky was talking about her calling, her desire to have kids, it wasn't there for me. I didn't have that desire to have kids. When I came to Unity, it was probably about 14 years ago or so, 14 or so, and I realized that this God was within. I realized that kids, I just had this awakening that kids from age 0 to 3, 4 were pure God. So I got so into thinking about kids, and I was working in the nursery. And it was such an amazing experience. And then my nieces and nephews started having kids. So I was so excited now. I get to be an auntie, I get to love up kids, but I also get to go home. And what I love, I do have to say, I feel selfish. I love my alone time. I love being able to walk out of the house without thinking that, somebody has to be taken care of. But I use this nurturing energy in my work. I really think I couldn't be fully present because I know with a mother, there's always a piece of you out there thinking about your kids. And I just feel like I was able to channel all my energy of nurturing and love into massage, into, I take care of houses now. And I love taking care of houses with pets. So funny, last night I'm house sitting, and I have a cat and a dog, and they're outside. I have the door closed so they don't sleep in the bed. And they're both pretty old. And the cat comes at the door. I usually wake up between 4 and 4:30, and the cat knows me. He's a little scratching at the door around 4:15. And last night, he did that at 1:30 in the morning. And I woke up, I was like, and I was just kind of conscious of Mother's Day. I was like, this is what mothers wake up all night. And I'm like, I just don't like it. I don't know if I could do it. So, Mother's Day for me has always been about my mother, I just didn't think of it as like I was missing something. And if people said to me, Happy Mother's Day or whatever, I didn't get offended. I just said, well, thank you, or, I'm not physically a mother. But I always felt like I had that mothering nature to me. I feel so grateful. My mother has dementia now, and she doesn't know even when I'm there. But I feel so grateful that I got to tell my mother, and it was probably about 10 years ago, being in Unity and so forth. And I got to tell her, and I said, because I know mothers are worried. They're always worried about their kids. It doesn't matter how old you are. And I'm out in Minnesota. She's in New Jersey. And I remember getting on the phone. I was walking around Lake Harriet, and I said to her, Mom, I just want you to know that I am so happy in my life. I'm doing what I love to be doing. I have everything I need. Isn't that amazing? I just feel really good. And I just was so excited to be able to tell her that. I really feel like she lived through me because I didn't have kids. She had 5 kids. She didn't get to have a career. Back then, they didn't really have careers or, it was motherhood and everything. She loved that I was always doing, yoga. If she saw me on the platform here, she would just be so amazed. She was so excited for someone to be in some kind of spiritual situation. It didn't even have to be, she was Catholic, she didn't care, she came to Unity, she loved it. But for me now to be on the platform, I just, it's hard for me to know. I know, I have conversations with her, so she knows in spirit, but that I'm up here. So I just want to also put out that, Mother's Day just brings up so many different feelings. Some Mother's Days are joyous, some are sad, some are grieving. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. There's part of me that feels grieving and sad, but also just so grateful. You know, as I get older, I realize how much I used to laugh that my mother didn't know what she was talking about, and now as I get older, all those little things she said start coming back, and I'm like, oh God, she was right. So just with that, have a great day, no matter what it is for you. Honor those feelings, because I just think every year Mother's Day is a different feeling, you know. So thank you so much.